Oh, we didn't do it over under. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's another player profile and projection on Talkin Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. DJ LeMahieu, David John, long gone. In his fourth year with the Yankees, his second of his second contract. Baseball Reference has his pronunciation as LeMahieu. Hugh. It's Hyoo. Hugh. That's a weird way. Hyoo. That doesn't help in the pronunciation guide. How you doing, Jake? We just recorded Izzy's and we didn't do the over-under.
We got it.
Is there one?
It's 700 OPS. You're both under. We're good.
Yeah.
DJ LeMahieu. God, what a ride it's been with him. Signed as a 2-year deal a few years back, and he was going to be the super util, a role we were so excited for. He was going to play third base. I was a little skeptical of that. He's a guy that played second base. I don't know. What did he do? He came over. He basically became the most valuable day in, day out hitter for the Yankees. He comes back in the shortened season. Fans are comparing him to a Paul O'Neill-esque resurgence, and he does more. He basically has a MVP type level season. Day in, day out, he had the leadoff spot. He hit 364, 421, one dotted in the 60-game season where he played 50 games. His numbers as a Yankee are still really, really good. Last year, though, Jim, he had a bit of the Yankee-itis. 268, 349. There was just no power. A 711 OPS. And we find out at the end of the year he had a sports hernia. He ends up missing the one-game wild card. And you hate to say it, but it made sense a little bit because he didn't have power all year. I know there's some baseball stuff going on, but it seemed a little different than that. And then we found out about the injury. So I do think we're going to land in a pretty positive spot for DJ. It should 100% be a bounce-back season. It's just to what level, right? Because, I mean, if you're expecting 2020, you're insane because nobody should be expected to have a 1.011 OPS over a 162-game season. 2019 is an incredible year. If he lands there, I think we're going to be having a great year for Yankees land. The honest guess is going to be something a little below, definitely below that, because that was a crazy year. But we need DJ to be somewhere between 2021 and 2019. It's just where on the scale.
I think, Jake, that I am kind of in on the dead ball situation.
Okay.
Which that isn't good moving forward, but I'm trying to talk myself into it being good moving forward.
From last year?
From last year.
Right.
So the MLB admitted that there was two different balls in use. There was the dead-end balls and then the live balls, the juiced balls from prior years, and then the new balls, which are more dead. And MLB said, yeah, because of COVID, the shipping shortages happened, blah, blah, blah. And so there were two different versions of the balls being sent to different stadiums. And then there's all these articles about how views from 314, is that what you say? Views from 314?
Yeah.
I think the new River Ave Blues, right? Site?
A bunch of the guys from there broke off to there, yeah.
They put together a whole article about how it seems, per the data, Yankee Stadium got mostly dead balls. And games at Yankee Stadium were some of the lower scoring games we've ever seen at Yankee Stadium.
The lineup had the itis.
No juice. And I think Glaber and DJ were affected. So, yeah. DJ LeMahieu, he had so many outs in the warning track and deep fly balls. And I'm looking at the data now and blah, blah. So I do, but they're playing with the dead balls this year. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out with the baseballs. Unfortunately, we wish we knew what ball our sport played with because it affects the game. That's another issue for another time. And even if we get a better batch of balls or a more normal batch of balls, you could put that as a little boost for DJ. When you put it with the sports hernia, it all kind of makes sense, right? And I will say this. We talk about pivot years for a lot of players. You know, we talked about it with Glaber. DJ LeMahieu has a fascinating baseball reference page. A fascinating baseball reference page. He has the one standout year in Colorado. The other years, he has years around that are solid, but obviously a different level of baseball. And then he came over to the Yankees, and he was this back-to-back top 5 MVP guy that he has last year. And let's be honest, he signed the big extension, or at least the long extension. Remember that when that was the big surprise, the 6 years, $15 million a year, they spread it out a little more. That this year is a huge year for DJ. His role the rest of the way with the Yankees, is he going to be a utility guy the rest of his way, or is DJ going to lock up a spot for the next few years? Is he our leadoff hitter? We just did an episode the other day about that. And what caliber of baseball player he is, because, man, I've looked at a lot of baseball references. I think we could easily be talking about DJ having a year in the high 8s. I think we could see DJ having, you know, maybe a year similar to some of his Colorado years where the batting average is nice, but the OPS isn't what it is. I think you can go so many ways with this, and it's going to depend mostly on health, where he's playing, where he's hitting.
I'm hoping it's a health thing. I mean, the numbers last year, like all of his offensive profile numbers, they didn't change. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Like when you look at, let's see what I was just looking at. You look at barrel percentage or the amount of barrels. It went up from 2020. 2020, like they said, all the stats were kind of lucky because his swing was kind of different.
Right.
But the barrel percentage went up from 2020 to 2021, but it was down from 2019 a good lot. So that's the biggest one, the barrels. But as far as like exit velo, the same. Launch angle, I was looking at that, same. He actually started walking a lot more. His walk percentage jumped up. His contact rate, very similar. His chase contact went down a little from 2020, but it's still the same. So the barrels were down a little bit. It just wasn't going. So I don't know. I do remember last year the feeling was if DJ rolls over another ball to third base, we will kill ourselves. We like wanted to make a montage of just how many times did DJ just roll over a ball to third base. And it was like, okay, well, there's DJ's about. You were getting very frustrated about that, I remember.
I mean, man, it just became on repeat. And you felt bad for DJ because you just knew something was right. And yeah, you know, the baseball savant numbers have always had a weird, especially with Yankees DJ, because he does barrel, but some of the exit velo stuff is low. And he's a different kind of ball player. Like, you know, the Talkin Yanks faithful have heard me say it 1,000 times. Like, there's only so many players that play the game like DJ LeMahieu in baseball because he has a rare contact tool. And I love it. You know, that's the tool I'm most impressed by because it is so hard to do. That him, Michael Brantley, like there's only a couple guys of that ilk that you can pencil in. Basically, unless there's a wipeout pitcher on the mound, like a guy who throws 100+ with a wipeout slider, that those guys have to almost change their approach. If you're anyone else, like DJ LeMahieu is going to have a chance against you, which is pretty badass. And that's where the bounce back is coming. I believe in DJ LeMahieu at the plate. I want to give him a chance to win his leadoff spot back. I hope he has that opportunity because we've talked about some funny business. DJ did so well in that role for 2 years that for him to have a clearly hurt season and a weird season with the Yankees in general, like DJ LeMahieu, if the first week of the season he's hitting leadoff and he's hitting 350, like it shouldn't be a conversation in Yankees land. Like that is what he should be doing for the New York Yankees. And we'll see, man. I guess that's the bigger question for me is defense and where he is in the lineup. Because I do think he's going to hit.
I have blind faith that he's going to hit because otherwise it's like sad. BBD, can you put my screen? Can you frame it for this? I'm going to get these out of the way, Jake, and then I'm going to build a montage of what we want to see. This is what we saw last year from DJ.
Right.
I have a montage of it, people to remember, and we'll burn it. It's kind of like what's effigy? What's it the ceremony like Ted Lasso when they burn all the bad stuff on the field?
An effigy. That's the Ron Swanson after his divorces.
Yeah. This is all we saw last year. And we don't want to see it anymore. Just roll over to third. Right?
Yeah.
Just over and over. And it's the same swing. So I don't know what this was.
And by the way, like we've already seen in this spring training, and spring training gets tricky, I get it. He hit a mammo.
He was giving
home run.
third baseman practice.
He was. He pulled a mammo home run in spring training. It clearly wasn't right last year. Stop this. The effigy has been burned.
Burned it?
We
Okay.
can't watch this anymore.
All right. I'll get
How many did you have up?
I only put half of them on the screen.
Goodness.
I mean, he did it. It was like,
I know that, but yeah, heart attack.
well, I was trying to have it roll just while you were talking in the background.
I can't look at it.
I'll find the good stuff.
Find some of the good stuff, dude. That was tough.
Okay.
Here's a big win.
Mm-hmm.
As hitters get older, their on-base percentages tend to climb as long as they're still playing baseball. You've seen more pitches. You get more comfortable with the strike zone, et cetera, et cetera. DJ LeMahieu, in what was a wretched year last year, his OBP still landed at 349. Like,
well, his walks went up.
Even if DJ doesn't have a full bounce back, he's going to bounce back somewhat. And even our like minimum bounce back, DJ's like a 365 on base guy. Like that's a top of the lineup guy. So I just hope he's up there. Set the table, dude. He set the tone for 2 Yankee seasons.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He set the tone every game. Like, what the montage I wish we had up was Michael Kay saying, and how many times have you heard me say this? Another multi-hit game from DJ LeMahieu. Like, that was a part of what? 60 Yankee games in 2019?
It was a part of
Probably
a lot of them.
more.
Probably more, yeah.
I'll get those stats.
Multi-hit games.
I'll get some multi-hit game stuff.
Okay. I'll do the montage for everyone here of the hard hit balls. This is what we want to see from DJ. So here we go. You like that one? Ripped into left field. Nice and easy.
Huge.
Off of the Red Sox. Kikuchi, third inning. Bam. Right over the second baseman's head to center field. Just line drives. Just pepper in the field. Here's another one. Okay, that's down the line to right and over the right fielder's head. Double. This is good stuff.
61 multi-hit games in 2019. And then in 2020, he played 50 games. He had a hit in 41 of them.
That's pretty wild.
I mean, he got on base. Let me double check this column. DJ LeMahieu got on base in 43 of the 50 games he played.
Love that.
Like, I guess that's where, and we've had a couple tough PPPs. I will let the juice fly on this one. Like, I do think DJ has a chance to be able to come back to his 2019 form. Don't get me wrong. Some of those numbers are really tough. Like an almost 900 OPS is really high.
He doesn't need to do all of that.
He doesn't. He can.
What's his career stats?
300, 356, 778 OPS.
Would you be happy with that?
I would be good with it. I do think, like, in comparison, DJ in his career with the Yankees, including, 2+ years and 1- year, he's been 307, 370, 831. So the only thing with his career numbers, it would be fine for this year, but DJ is getting older, and, we're a couple years into this contract that if things start kind of going down, it doesn't project well for the next 4 years of Yankees baseball. So I think he can do a little more than that, but I would be satisfied with that.
So what do you need then?
DJ's so tricky because the batting average.
What stat that you need more power?
I guess that's what I'm looking into right now. Batting average, because batting average is tough, man. DJ is a different type of ball player. I'm not gonna merit him on batting average. I'd say an 800 OPS.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. Like, I'd like that to start with the 8. But if what was his career?
Or maybe let's be more honest with ourselves, because DJ's not here for power. There's a bunch of big dudes behind him. Maybe it's like a 370 on base. Because that means he's getting on, whether it's walks or hits. And like 370 on base is a pretty legit major league number.
I think I agree. One of my most fun text exchanges last year was with my brother, who was like at a game with DJ, was playing, and it was something like, does DJ ever pull the ball or something like that? And I said, well, if he does, it's a homer.
Right.
And then
he did that this spring.
Later that game, he pulled the ball and it was a homer. And my brother was like, oh my God, blah, blah. And I was like, well, and then I pulled up his stats. These are a picture of, these are fly. So what I did was I did fly balls, pulled fly balls as a Yankee. So the last couple of years. And I mean, so if he
more than half our home runs,
it's a fly ball
to left,
to left, the odds are it's a home run.
Yeah. The betting odds would genuinely be it's a home run.
Especially if you like those couple that are not even to the outfielder. So basically, like, if he puts it to where the outfielder's standing.
Right. I mean, for me, that's a little less important just because we've seen.
This is not important. This is a fun factoid.
When DJ hooks one, that's what he does.
Yeah, this is just a fun factoid.
The short porch is what's important to DJ, because now I'm looking back at some of his Colorado numbers. 2017, DJ LeMahieu, 310, 374 on base, a 783 OPS. So I was asking myself, like, that's kind of what I just said. Like, I would take that season. He only hit 8 home runs that year, which, don't get me wrong, DJ's not on the team to hit home runs, but with his swing in the short porch, like, DJ should run into, like, at least 15 in any year. Like, remember that? Like, Coors Field is Coors Field, but right field is not short. Yankee Stadium right field is short. DJ LeMahieu can find that porch. That's something to watch for earlier in the year, because I feel like that could be a big spiritual boost for him. I mean, I'm all in on DJ. Get him back at the top of the lineup. He's the biggest step to the Yankees becoming a hitting Yankees baseball team.
Okay.
Like, Judge is going to judge. Stanton's going to Stan. Josh Donaldson's probably going to Josh Donaldson.
We would hope, yeah.
Gallo's kind of going to Gallo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, DJ's a factor.
DJ's kind of got the most range, that he could be a slap hitter a little better than last year, and what does it mean the rest of the way? Or he can bust out a top 8 MVP season, and we wouldn't be shocked.
No. Do you want to end this? We got to do a random video.
Projections for this year: 598 at bats, 16 homers, 285, 352, a 779 OPS with 84% reliability from this computer. That season would be okay, but no, dude, it's actually not. Because right now we don't have a hitting shortstop or catcher.
Yeah, no, you need DJ to go up because they punted on. They
needs
punted
like
on
an
two.
800 OPS.
They punted on 2 positions, so you need DJ to go up. Yeah,
go up.
Do you want to see him like hit first pitch of the game homers?
Yeah, let's get one more random vid. BBD, you got a over under for us?
Oh, he never did that.
Max is over under 310 batting average.
That's high.
310's a big one.
I feel like coming off the big years, people were throwing those kind of over-unders out, and we were like, let's drop that to like 290. But
I wonder if we can find his actual one on DK. I think Trev sent us a video, but it might just be home runs. It's a 5-minute video. I'll look for a second. Talk to the people, Jimbo.
I mean, I think 5 hitters did that last year in all of baseball.
Right.
So that's way too high. You cannot set a bar that he going to be over under the 99th percentile of batting average. Last year, Vladdy, Brantley, Soto, Gurriel, Turner, only players in baseball to have an over 310 batting average. That's too high of a bar. It's I mean,
the Vegas odd is you would get really good numbers on that.
Yeah, you get
with the Yankees, he's hit 307
in 19
career.
Oh, okay.
3 years. So what was the number at?
310.
310. It's high. It's high. I'm going over.
I love it.
Come on,
I love
DJ.
it. Just playing the odds here. Five guys
DJ.
in all of baseball did it last year, so it's a pretty high bar. I'll do a random video. Is that all that's left, the random video? Show random. We've watched a lot of non-random videos. This is random, and it is lines out to shortstop, Brandon Crawford. Hot shot.
Hot shot. Good defender.
Nice pick.
Yanks up 6-0.
And then Reyes Moranta threw a ball. Oh, Rockies DJ.
Wow.
2-2 in the 7th with a runner on. First pitch of the at-bat.
Stance is a little more open there.
Yeah. Great take. Knew it.
Show take.
There you go. DJ LeMahieu. I think the parting line is that he is one of the players that we don't know what we're getting from him. And because they punted on 2 other positions offensively, they need DJ to be good.
I can confidently say it will be better than last year.
I love it. There you go. That is DJ LeMahieu. David John makes long gone. Trev sent us a 5-minute video, huh? It's nice of him.
Yeah, I couldn't fast forward.
Yeah. It was